you'll be the Manchester United manager after the international break?
I don't know what is going to happen. That is my idea, but I'm not going to promise you nothing. what is going to be the future? But I'm manager of the Manchester United, and I think that is not going to change.
Rich, sorry, I remember during pre-season you said you wouldn't let your ego get in the way of allowing you to quit. So has something changed?
No. I didn't say that. You were there. I didn't say that. I said that sometimes there is an ego thing. I don't say that I will put my ego to a part or in front. You were there, and you understand. Guys, I'm being honest with you. Sometimes I'm so frustrated with the team that I think in one thing, and then I return to my normal behavior. So I will not promise you nothing. I will live this day by day. So I'm tired of saying that I'm not going to behave like this or that. I'm going to be myself, and I have a lot of passion, and I want to succeed more than anyone.
Ruben, I take what you said about your comments the other night. It's when you mention the players, it's the sort of thing that players can take either very positively or take quite negatively. Are you confident that you're going to get a positive response from that, given what you know about these players and what
that is always the idea? But to be honest with you again, when I have these comments, I'm not thinking about that. I'm just explaining what you saw is what I saw, what everyone saw, and I tell the truth. I'm not thinking about. Sometimes I'm thinking about, especially in press conference, what I'm going to say after these kind of moments. I'm not thinking about that. I'm really honest on what I see. I cannot say a different thing. You watch the same game that I watch. I'm not going to change the narrative or control the narrative. It is what it is, and I'm just trying to be honest with you guys and with the players. That's all.
Hi, Ruben. You're obviously a very proud man, a very talented coach. You know, you love football. When you see a performance like this at Grimsby, you know, you've got a lot of very good players out there. As we always have to say, no disrespect to Grimsby, but they are fourth tier.
Yeah.
How can that happen because of everything I've just described? It seems baffling.
I think that is the best explanation for, not the first one. The first one I appreciate, but the next one is clearly my frustration. There's no excuse, because I didn't put just 11 players that don't play so much. They played in pre-season. Was not just guys that are from the academy, a mix. No, it was in the right position. I could play that team the next game. We had Kobe, Manu, Harry Maguire, Cunha, Seshko, Ahmad, Diogo, Patrick. So that is the frustration of a coach. So that's why it's hard to go to a.
What did happen though? Was it an attitude thing? I mean,
I don't know. I don't know what happened. But in the normal day, we should be so much better.
Rob?
During the summer, you said to us that you were happy that the level, the consistency of performances was better than perhaps it was last season, and even if you weren't winning against Arsenal and Fulham, you were happy that the performance was kind of there for most of it. Is the feeling of the Grimsby game that it's a blip, or did you see things that reminded you of last season that you really didn't like?
We just need to focus in a lot of things, and I feel that the players are always thinking about the past. They think that is something in the water here or in the food. It's nothing. It is in our minds, and we just need to focus on the next game. We dropped the level. Now we have to respond in the next game. It's not about the result. It's the way we play. So last game we had some moments that I had that feeling that when it's tough, everyone is trying to do his own thing, and that is something that we need to change that feeling. Sometimes things are okay, sometimes we are in the bad moment, but we have a way to do things, and we have to work on that. So to work on that is just next game. It doesn't matter in the past. What is in the past? Let's focus on the next game so we can respond tomorrow about that.
To tell the players to forget that, is it hard for the players to go through what they did last season?
It's not to forget. We have to remind, but we cannot change that. So let's change the next game. Let's try to win the first game in Premier. We just need to win for this confidence, because we are. Football is funny, because we had a great pre-season. We had a great game against Arsenal, but we lost. But then that 30 minutes against Fulham, we had a clearly lack of confidence in the game, and then we take that feeling to the next game. Now we have to go back to the same feeling. It's not about the result now. It's the performance. Then the result we'll see in the end.
Are you surprised, Ruben? You mentioned now about that great pre-season at Arsenal. Are you surprised at how quickly things have gone back with the last two games? And perhaps more importantly, are you still as confident in your own ability to lead this club forward now?
Yes, depend of the day. But I'm confident because I saw these players play really well in tough matches, and I see it in training. The training is so much better. I was not surprised. I was shocked in the last game. I was shocked. That's why you see that game this is not our team. The way we are doing things. So I'm always confident in the way I manage the team. And then I'm trying to remind myself if Bruno scores that penalty. If we in the three first opportunities against Fulham we score a goal, things will be really different. And sometimes it's that small difference that change the narrative. And you can see it in 1 week. It looks like a different club.
Okay, we'll go last two for Richard and then David. Hi, Ruben. We were led to believe that players like Marcus Rashford and Alejandro Garnacho had to leave to improve the team spirit. And what does it say that now you have the players you wanted, players that want to be here, that don't challenge your authority? What does it say that these things are still happening, that performances like Grimsby are still
It's
happening?
not the challenge of authority. The players didn't change to clear the environment. I want players that want to be here and do everything to be here. That's the only thing. So we need just to focus on winning games and to return to that level that we show in some moments this season.
You mentioned just then that sometimes you want to quit. Who, maybe tongue-in-cheek, but who behind the scenes persuades you otherwise or talks you down from that position?
Myself. I just need 10 minutes with myself alone. I don't need anyone, but I'm going to be like that. It's not. And when you say like I want to quit, is that I want to quit? I don't love the players. I hate sometimes my kids. So I'm going to be like that. That is not going to change. Sometimes it's a good thing. Sometimes it's a funny thing. I'm going to suffer. We just need to win some games. So we cannot change that past. We need to focus on the next game. And if we start winning, things are going to be easier to deal.
So some of the criticism of you post-Grimsby has been about formations and systems, and on Wednesday you said it's not about formations and systems, that's not important. If it's not important, why are you so inflexible? And would you ever consider, if things got worse, of changing and adapting?
Guys, if I feel that is best to change, I know I played in all my life in the 4-4-2, 4-3-3. The only system that I didn't play 1 minute, 3-4-3. So I know all and I'm just have one idea that we need to be so good in this way of playing, then we are going to adapt. It's like some coaches has a mentality that I'm going to put this system and then I'm going to change. What I'm thinking is that we have one system that is going to adapt to different systems. And then when everyone is doing this with his eyes shut, I'm going to change a lot of things. You cannot tell me that we are always with 5 defenders. You cannot tell me that we are always with 4 defenders. You cannot tell me that we are always with 3 defenders. I'm just trying to coach my players with the idea that I have. And I said that many times. This is the fun part. If he's doing just to win the game or to play in the 4-3-3, I was not here. They ask me, before I have here, can you play in this system? I will say, I will do my system no matter what. If it's okay for you, it's okay. And then in the future, I could change. I could wake up in one morning and say, I understand that for my idea of football, it's better to change. I will change right away. I just want to win. But if I'm going to change because something is not working, I don't believe, players will understand. This guy is not is telling you one thing, is not believe. He's not believing in things. So it's not about the system. We lost against Grimsby about the system. Man, in the first half, I didn't know the system of the team. So, guys, it's not a system.
Thank you.
Thank you.